Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Lyle here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
Dragon, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episodes are Just Passing Through and Candace's Big Day. So, Dragon, the boys go intangible. How are you coming down on this?
I don't know if intangible is the right word because we can see them.
All right. Well, intangible is more like passing through objects.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you can kind of read intangible a few ways, but you're not wrong, I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
semantics aside, how are you still coming down on this?
Yeah, I enjoyed just passing through it. It scratched the old gadget itch. Not much of a payoff at the end, though. Let's be honest. There's not really much of a big payoff, but it's it's a fun gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of these things that they do, like, kind of tied to things you wish you could do as kids. Like, oh, I wish I could just phase through solid objects. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, granted, Danny Phantom kind of did that as well, but in a different way.
Hey, he was a ghost.
Yeah, well, half ghost.
Yeah. He still died, but
I just thought he just got ghost powers because of it.
Well, no, he did. I'm just saying, if you ever look at that intro, you look at the intro. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I mean, he dies in that portal, and that's kind of why he's half ghost. He kind of had like a near death experience, kind of a Yu Yu Hakusho of sorts, one could say. He died and came back.
Unfortunately, that reference is lost on me. I mean, I know what Yu Yu Hakusho is, but the whole half ghost thing kind of loses me.
Well, I mean, look, Yusuke isn't technically like a full-on ghost. I'm just saying, like, the whole premise of that show is like episode 1, we killed off the main character, and then he's a ghost for a while, but then we bring him back.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, people have recommended Yu Yu Hakusho to me, so.
Yeah, watch the anime though.
Okay.
Yeah, don't just start with the live action one.
I didn't even know there was a live action one.
Well, yeah, that's the reason why Yu Yu Hakusho's been talked about a lot recently, because of the whole.
Because of the Netflix one, right?
Yeah, that's so. It's oddly though, unlike One Piece, they have not added Yu Yu Hakusho to Netflix, which I think is a very embarrassing error on their parts. But you have Crunchyroll, so you're good.
People said that the new show is actually pretty good, though.
Well, Jacob, I don't want to go too much. I mean, I've seen it. I have thoughts, but it's not all bad.
All right. We have some comments. Code Yes, like the last Recap-inator of the year. But yeah, this is the last one for this year, folks.
Do you remember when we started the Recap-inator?
It's like sometime in January.
Really? So it was January.
Yeah, I think you reached out to me about doing this sometime either late December or early January. We started setting it up then.
What number episode is this?
Season 2, episode 24.
I mean, in total, so yeah.
In total, if you count the fact that the first season had 26, and the fact that we technically did skip over doing, we technically counted the musical Cliptastic Countdown as within Quantum Boogaloo.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I guess that means we've done about 50 or so of these.
Huh.
It's like the 50th one.
Okay.
Let's see. I'll try and find the exact. We did this. Let's see. Specifically, the first one we did was on January 27th.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. Pretty much exactly 12 months ago, or 11 months ago, according to this thing.
Well, again, soon that'll change, but yes.
Yes.
All right, so so we've reached a milestone. We're kind of at the halfway point.
Yep, kind of. I mean,
Kind of.
season 3 has a lot. Has season 3 and 4 don't have like 26 episodes or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this season alone is 38, so we still have a ways to go in this season.
Yeah. All right, so I guess.
And also, sounds like you're giving Danny Phantom a gritty reboot.
Well, again, that's essentially just look at the opening. I mean, his molecules got rearranged. So yes, he did get. I'm just saying that thing turns on. The message is that okay, ordinarily would kill a person. So it's not really a stretch. It's just a very PC way of saying, oh, he just got ghost powers. Well, you know what ghost means, right?
Yep.
The idea is like we've kind of taken the Butch Hartman thing with parents. Only the Fentons do have a lot more redeeming moments than the Turners. Let's be honest. The Fentons are good people. They're dim people and distracted people, but they're not monsters like the Turners.
And yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I mean, Jack does have every good reason to think that the Danny Phantom like rip him apart molecule by molecule.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, oh wait, that's my son.
They don't know though. That's a thing. So they're trying to kill their kid, but they don't know. Well, they're trying to capture and send away imprison their kid, but they don't know.
Yeah, it's like so it's nice in a way, I guess.
Exactly. Anywho.
Yes. So,
I feel like we're getting sidetracked.
Yep, we are.
So, the Mayor Day Festival.
Yep. Roger Doofenshmirtz hasn't been mayor for long, but he's already getting honored for mayor of the day.
Have you ever stopped to think, what if Doofenshmirtz has a point about Roger? You ever think about that?
A lot of time just comes across as Doofenshmirtz just being petty.
Yes, there's petty, but at the same time, he's like, who's going to have a mayor day that close to being in office? I mean,
I mean, maybe it's just that they do
there's something obsequious there. I mean, come on.
maybe they do it for every mayor, and he's just the newly elected mayor.
But then they build a statue for him. How many statues does this guy need? He's got that, and he got like the whole the pigeon goo thing with the other statue.
I don't know, Dragon. I'm not the city planners.
Well, actually, scratch that. He just wanted to cover the actual brother in pigeon goo. So I guess this may have been the first statue. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Speaking of gritty reboots, I have a fair idea of like one of the directions you're going to go with the gritty reboot for this one.
Yeah. Get there.
Yep.
All right, so it's the Mayor Day Festival. Linda and her jazz trio
are performing at the statue reveal, which is pretty cool.
Yep, and she's got her lucky everything, but she loses her lucky guitar pick.
It slides under the wall.
Yep. Which
is kind of weird because I thought most walls were supposed to be connected to the floor.
Well, yeah, but sometimes you have like that. The idea is it's not like actually full. It might not be full on behind the wall. Regardless, it's like caught in that space between the two because there's like a little opening underneath your baseboard sometimes, especially if it's in a kitchen without a carpet or anything.
Okay, that makes sense in a way.
So there are like little openings. I mean, hey, think mice get in houses, Jacob, like stuff like that, little cracks.
I mean, I live in an apartment and with a hardwood floor, and there's nothing like that in here.
I mean, you realize no like little thing of clearance you could buy like a little guitar pick sliding under there.
Not on the ground level or anything like that.
Okay.
At least not that I've noticed.
Well, again, you're not a homeowner, so we're just gonna.
But then again, that might explain where the crickets I keep getting in the summer keep coming from.
Yep.
I need to get.
Yeah, that would explain it.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, so that's why I said not that I've seen.
All right, so the boys, to help the mother out, they create the molecule scrambling orb.
Which is a pretty cool device.
Yeah, it is, and it's an orb, and it's cool. I love the way it works. You put together the little sides of the orb, and it activates the activates the molecule phasing.
You have a thing for orbs?
I mean, not particular. I don't know. Not really. I'm more of a in terms of gadgetry. I love everything wrist mounted. I love the wrist mounted stuff.
So if they made a wrist mounted
I mean, look,
intangible
I'm not saying
device.
they have to. I'm just saying in general, I do. I'm just saying in general for all gadgetry, I love wrist mounted stuff. But yeah, I'm just saying the orb is like you're gonna drop the orb, it's gonna roll around. So there's always a design flaw with the orb. It's cool though.
Yeah, it is like, and like I said, the ability to just excuse me, excuse me, just dying over here. But just the ability just to like squeeze, like put the orb together, then take it apart to fix your intangibility would actually be really, it was actually really cool. I'm not
Like
gonna
I love
lie.
the whole catch and release mechanism sort of thing. The whole like clamp it, unclamp it sort of. Yeah, like the functionality. They're very tactile. I dig it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
So essentially, the science here is essentially it works like phasing. So it's kind of a it's very flash-like. This is the flash. The way they walk through how the device works, essentially they say it scrambles the molecules, but essentially it's vibrating the molecules so you can pass through a solid object, which is exactly what the flash does. Only in this case, realized through technology in a much more kind of aesthetically kind of like whimsical way.
Yep. Maybe the boys could give the Flash a run for their money.
Honestly, what they're doing is kind of a combination of Kitty Pryde and the Flash. It's kind of what they're ultimately doing in this episode.
And they said maybe they could give the Flash the run for his money.
Well, it depends on which Flash, but yeah.
I mean, heck, there is a few Drebbers where they make shoes that run really fast.
Okay.
So, and basically the only thing they're not faster than is light. So,
All right, so they grab after a montage. They remember, oh yeah, we gotta grab that pick.
oh yeah, and then like we haven't talked about what Lawrence is doing this time.
Oh, how could we forget what Lawrence is doing this episode? He's doing something hugely important. He's talking about the most captivating antique known to man.
Steamrollers.
He's auctioning off antique steamrollers.
Yes.
And who's not down for the antique steamrollers? Who's decrying the antique steamrollers, Jacob?
The Wilkins brothers.
You know what I heard about the Wilkins brothers?
What did you hear about the Wilkins brothers?
They make good coffee.
Okay.
Make coffee you don't want to miss out on. So horrible things are going to happen to you if you turn down the Wilkins coffee.
Like, I'm guessing that's a reference to something that I'm unfamiliar with.
Really? You don't know?
It's not coming to me right now.
Oh, man, you love this.
What is it?
It's the Muppet, the Jim Henson Wilkins coffee ads.
No, I haven't seen those.
Oh, really? No? Never?
No.
Yeah, it was one of the early things Jim Henson did after Sam and Friends. It was like the big advertising thing where they had these two kind of precursor Muppets advertising Wilkins coffee, and the running gag was like they have Wilkins and Wonkins, and Wonkins was the one who's like Wilkins is like kind of vaguely Kermit the Frog looking Muppet that goes up says, "Have you tried Wilkins coffee?" And the other one says, "No." And then the happy-go-lucky Kermit the Frog Wilkins basically does something horrible to Wonkins. Like, I mean, really horrible. Like, sometimes he does all sorts of, fires him out of a cannon, or dumps something on his head, or he'll even stabbed him once.
Dang.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Wilkins takes his coffee very seriously.
Are you sure that wasn't Constantine doing that?
No, it's black and white. That's why, but he's there's no collar there. It ain't Constantine.
I know, it's just kidding anyway.
But yeah, so look into the Wilkins coffee ads, man.
I just Googled it.
Yeah?
So I'm gonna look it up later.
Yeah, they're delightful. And twisted and a little dark, but they're
It
delightful.
kind of reminds me of the Naked Gun Red Rock ads.
Little bit.
It's speaking of which, that movie's 30th anniversary is this year.
You mean this coming year?
No, this year, 2023.
Wait, the original Naked Gun?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, was that 93 or 94 though?
I think it was 93.
I don't know. You might want to look into that.
The Naked Gun came out in 88.
Okay, what's the year math on that? 88, is that
It's the same year Roger Rabbit came out, so 35.
Dang it.
And we can technically still do it. It came out in December.
You're not. You don't tantalize me with that when we're like 3 days away from the end of the year and we're already booked up. Don't do that.
Well, we can do it. Well, we can do it next year. Then we can like do it in like January or something.
Yeah. Anyway, the point being, yes, the Wilkins brothers. They are huge proponents of the pump trolley. They poo-poo anything steam power. They're all about the pump trolley.
Yep. But
And for the kids out there, the pump trolley is that long platform with wheels on it. They basically it's like a seesaw with the two people, and that moves it.
yeah, go for it. Do Naked Gun. Little Blue wants us to do Naked Gun.
Look, I did mention doing Naked Gun. I believe I got shot down, if memory serves. I don't remember how hard it was fought for, but it was hey, want to do Naked Gun? I was told no.
Dragon, I would love to do Naked Gun.
Of course, I mean, who wouldn't want to do Naked Gun?
Clearly the person who shot you down.
Yeah.
It's like I mean, it's one of my favorite comedies.
I know.
It's hilarious. Anyway. Back to
Nice beaver.
Thanks, I just had it stuffed.
I love Ricardo Montalban in that movie so much.
Yeah, he's great.
It's Enrico Palazzo.
Drag, I could talk about Naked Gun for hours, but we should probably get back to the episode.
Oh, the pistachios. So
how they're all like outside his door.
Yep.
We really should do Naked Gun. We should probably do like all three if we're gonna do those.
That's what I'm saying. There's the other temptation too, because I mean the third one has the Oscars in it.
Yep. So it's timely.
Yep.
And it came out in '94, so we could do that.
All right. Okay. So.
Hey, like, oh, Little Blue wants to actually hold on. Like, actually, has not seen these commercials. Wow, those commercials are Muppet history.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, go for it. Do Naked Gun. Little Blue wants to apparently be on when we talk about Naked Gun. And Code Geass there's supposed to be a Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson.
Okay, well, you know what's funny about that? I actually heard the genesis of that idea. Seth MacFarlane on the commentary, I believe, for I think it was Ted 2. Could have been A Million Ways to Die in the West. The point being, MacFarlane suggested. I don't know if this is him. I don't know if he's involved in this potential reboot or not officially, but he was spitballing the idea. Love working with Liam Neeson, him being a great straight man. He would be perfect for a Naked Gun reboot. So. I mean, I'd be down for that. I think that'd be hilarious, but yeah.
I would love it too.
We lost Leslie Nielsen. We can't really do it again, so we might as well,
Plus, it would kind of mirror how Leslie Nielsen went from being this serious, dramatic actor to being this deadpan comedic actor.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the world of intangibility and steamrollers.
So I love the real, just the Wilkins. They scratch the ride, man. They scratch the steamroller.
Oh no!
What jerks!
I don't think they do it on purpose, but what it almost results in is accidental manslaughter.
Yes, the Wilkins, such monsters. Not only they diss the steamroller, Lawrence's big crowning moment, but you know what else? They try and kill his children. And his children's friends.
Yep. Meanwhile, they're trying to pump up Isabella's flattened tire.
Now, I will say this. This, again, is feeding into what you've been saying so far. Balgi has turned a corner because he actually had a really good line this episode.
He's like, you can build a roller coaster in a day, but it takes you 12 minutes to inflate a flat tire? That's
good. That's a really good point. Balgi has earned and scored some major points for me with that line. I'm not going to lie to you. He has. Baljeet's turning a corner. We're going to see if he keeps up with it, but he's turning a corner.
Thank you, Drag. It's a redemption arc.
Yeah.
And in Dragon, I think I know what time it is here.
Yep.
It's
Grady Reboot time! Yep. Oh boy. So again, I think already they're so embittered by the steamroller thing. It's like this very small thing, just intentionally. Like, oh, well, let's those are the Flynn Fletcher boys. Let's cause an in quotes accident. They do. It's down there, and they actually, they're fixing the tire, and Baljeet turns around, and says, "Oh no!" And then just Lawrence runs there, and then he goes on like a revenge quest powered by a steamroller, and his mission in life, kind of revenge quest style is I'm gonna find the Wilkins brothers. I'm gonna flatten them with the steamroller the way they killed my own children and their friends and Baljeet.
And their friends in Baljeet.
Yeah. So there you go.
Turn them into miserable little stains on the floor.
Yep.
Well, they didn't see what the inside of it. They saw what the bottom of one looked like.
Yep. Of course, as it's happening, like halfway through, it's like, oh god, oh man, that's an antique looking steamroller. Look at that. That's for God.
And no Who Framed Roger Rabbit twist here.
Nope. Phineas is like Phineas and Ferb's noses are completely flattened out. It's a mess. It's just a mitigated mess. And Lawrence there just cradling his children, like, why are they so flat? Who did this? Why did they do it this way? Why did they ruin a perfectly good steamroller? It's ruined. I can't resell this. Oh god, why?
Lawrence doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't. His whole year was building to this auction, and someone stained that steamroller with the blood of his children. Those monsters.
Oh,
he can always make more children, but he can't clean that steamroller.
Oh god. The lives of his kids are less important than a steamroller.
He's got one left.
Oh,
Besides, he and Linda haven't had any kids together. It's fine.
That's it.
They'll rebuild.
Okay.
Besides, no, you know what actually is going to happen?
What?
Okay.
I'm afraid to ask, but okay.
Perry Platypus is going to be bereft. He's going to be unable to do missions, so Carl and Monogram are going to get the twisted idea, like, we're going to bring him back either A, as cyborgs, which would be horrifying and go instantly wrong, or they're going to just keep up the charade. We're going to use the robotic duplicates of Phineas and Ferb.
We're combining all the gritty reboots here.
Yep.
All right. Is that
anyway.
it? Anyway.
Yeah, unless you want to go darker. I think that's about it.
Okay, I think that's enough for right now.
Okay.
Save the darker stuff for later.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of Perry the Platypus, we should talk about what he and Doof are up to.
Well, let's forget Perry the Platypus. Let's talk about Bobblehead Perry the Platypus. Bobblehead Perry the Platypus.
And where exactly is Bobblehead Perry the Platypus?
He is on the dashboard of Doof's first flatbed
microbus.
I love the vehicle. I love the flatbed microbus.
Oh, yeah, it's good. I love it. I mean, it has its own jingle. It has its own Bobblehead Perry the Platypus.
Yes, I want the toy of this, Jacob.
It's like you need to make some arts and crafts. You can make it yourself, or maybe somebody made it on Etsy for all I know.
Mm. Anyway,
because unfortunately, I don't think they sell it on Disney stores.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, so Doofenshmirtz, he's basically has this inator that's going to deface the statue, really just destroy the statue from the looks of it. Not really it's not going to rearrange the face or anything. It's a death laser.
Yep. It's like, but he gets there long before Perry does.
But something hysterically priceless happens.
Yeah, he's like, he tries to close the door on the microbus, and it just keeps open, just keeps reopening until he basically does that thing where he forces it shut, probably lifts the door handle and then lowers it again to close it.
Uh-huh.
Those are my keys in the ignition, isn't it?
Yep. Left his keys in there.
And he doesn't have any spares.
Nope, and the whole thing's the car is running.
And it's I'm sure this is probably one of the most relatable things that Doofenshmirtz has ever done.
I love the timing on this so much.
And he's talking to his AAA agent or whatever. And then he's
and it's out of gas.
I left the engine running and now it's out of gas. 45 minutes? Whatever. I'm not going anywhere.
Yep, thankfully his inator is on the outside, so you can still use it.
Yep. Fortunately, it's a I think that's one of the most relatable things that's ever happened to Doofenshmirtz.
Oh yeah.
Just locking your keys inside your car. Well, at least he didn't lock himself inside the car.
Oh no.
He's not Peter Griffin.
Sir, can you please?
He locked his keys outside the car.
I love he's using the coat hanger.
Oh god. Would that even be remotely possible in any kind of car?
Well, I mean, in the back seat, yes. The front seat,
no. It's just him being stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously what I was thinking in the first place. But I was just genuinely curious if that was ever actually possible in any kind of car.
I mean, the only way that's going to happen is if it's an old car and someone literally removes the little door latch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The only way that happens, an old car, though.
All right.
Anyway.
But anyway, Perry shows up and he's kind of weirded out by the bobblehead Perry the Platypus.
Bobblehead Perry the Platypus.
Yes. I love how it has its own jingle.
Honestly, it's even better than the other jingle.
Which one?
Well, no, I just mean the Doofenshmirtz flatbed microbus.
Microbus, yeah.
Right. So let's see. So Doofenshmirtz, he's got real world problems.
Yep.
He wants to ruin Roger's big statue. Perry Platt shows up. There's a scuffle. Hits the self-destruct button on the inator, but there's a backup inator for this very.
Yep. Curse you, Perry the bobblehead.
So he fires it and ends up going through a house of mirrors and his own rear view mirror, his own side mirror.
Yeah. So it gets destroyed. But then he's time for plan B, which I just destroyed. He destroys his own plan B for some reason.
Yeah.
So now we're even. But even I'm not prepared for plan C. It's you'd think he would have actually utilized plan B, but then again, this is Doofenshmirtz we're talking about, and do you think he would ever think that clearly? He created it basically just to blow it up himself.
Oh, yeah.
So fortunately, though, so what happens next, Dragon?
Well, let's see. We kind of jumped around a bit. Candace has been trying to foil the boys by bringing the device, which is a good plan initially for Candace. However, the better plan would have been just to watch it and just not go anywhere.
It helps that it's portable.
Yeah.
But first she catches them just staring at the kids staring at a wall.
Yep, they're all staring at the wall.
Yep, they're hey.
Really funny.
Yep, they're just real riveting side of staring at a wall.
Yep.
Have you ever watched paint dry?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Maybe a little.
I can't imagine it being too fun.
More out of curiosity. I wonder if it's drying before my eyes.
Okay.
What if I blow on it if it will dry faster?
I don't know. I've never. The only paint I've watched dry is when I was painting something. And, that's about it. Like, so, as you said, Candace does have like a new idea to take it, to take the device to Linda. Unfortunately, though, she gets gets trapped in the, accidentally activates it and gets trapped in a porta potty door.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think of that? That'd be kind of like a situation you would not want to be in.
Nope. Well, that's I would say that's the other that'd be the other gritty reboot moment.
All right.
Yeah. So one of the worst possible things that could ever happen is if a phasing device malfunctions and you get caught between two things. Only sadly, when that happens, Candace is rendered in twain. Well, I guess technically in thirds because there's the body, there's the pieces that are caught within the porta potty, and then there's the head and arm.
That's not good.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's always the fear and the paranoia of like anytime you have phasing powers. Like, oh god, what if it malfunctions? Like, what if I solidify? What happens?
Did that ever happen to any of the Flashes?
Well, not. I think it was talked. Well, you also have with teleportation. Like Nightcrawler has, they've addressed that with Nightcrawler. That could happen if he just teleports somewhere he doesn't know about. So there's a risk of that. I forget if Kitty Pryde's gotten stuck in a wall before. I'm not sure.
Would it bisect?
Well, that's the thing. Usually, there's like Nightcrawler would be a thing where it'd be either a bisecting thing or it's just going to be God knows what happens if your whole body gets stuck between the wall. If it's actually going to be within the wall or if it's in solid matter, what the heck happens to you? So there's been a danger addressed. We haven't really seen. I wonder if the boys has ever tackled that. But
I mean, you'd know that better than I would.
I'm just saying in the comic, which I don't, because they haven't done it in the show yet. That's what I'm saying. They haven't done it in the show.
Yeah, you've read the comic though, right?
I mean, I didn't know the ending of the boys. I never finished the comic, but I did read, like, let's say, I guess maybe the halfway point. I got kind of far in it, but again, the comic's nowhere near as good as the show, so I just kind of stopped too. So
That's what I keep hearing from everyone.
Yeah, at the very least, I think you even read like the first issue, you're going to see, man, this is majorly darker.
It doesn't necessarily mean it's better either.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's like, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if eventually the boys did cover something like that. But
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the point being, there's a danger in phasing, so we kind of see that here. Let's say Candace got off very, very lucky.
Yeah. And to bring up the little Danny Phantom thing earlier, he's able to make certain parts of his body intangible. But even then, I think there's still some dangers in him getting caught in stuff.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've seen the show in completion. So
it's worth a binge.
I know it's a great show. I've been through it a couple times actually.
Yeah,
but
I still say the best of Butch Hartman's stuff.
Yeah, early Odd Parents was great too.
I got nothing against Fairly Odd Parents. I'm just saying the Danny Phantom's that's solid from start to finish. Fairly Odd Parents, you gotta like carve out a niche.
Yeah, I know. At least when Steve Marmol was there.
Yep.
So, to be fair, that could also be said for Danny Phantom.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, that's the episode.
Yep, that's the episode. Like, obviously, the mirror reflecting it hits Candace's door, the door that Candace is stuck on, and she's free.
Yeah.
And everyone enjoys the concert and the unveiling. Doofenshmirtz impresses the Wilkins brothers with the pumpless pump trolley.
Yep.
Anyway, moving on to Candace's big day, where Candace goes crazy trying to plan her aunt's wedding. How'd you like this one?
That's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that one.
Yeah, nothing bad about it. Just like, it's okay. Just Candace going crazy, which has a few laughs, but it's like we're planning a wedding and it's a parade of no. We just kind of look into it at the end. I don't know. It's just not really like the boys. They're like they make a nice like ice sculpture, but that's about it.
I guess like just okay. I'm like, yeah. Like I said, I don't dislike this episode, but it's not one I'm always looking forward to watching. Like, ooh, this one.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I don't really know anything about Tiana. Just that she adventures with John Larroquette.
Yeah, Captain Bob Weber returns.
He's me. I know. I gotta admit, that was to me. That was the most exciting part of the episode. Like when I realized, wait a minute, that's Bob.
Yep.
That's the okay guy. That's John Larroquette.
Yep, and of course, like it's like I love the whole gag with the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. I thought it was spectacular, but Bob thought it was okay.
Good joke. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then we have a really sweet proposal there. I want to go with another woman, my wife.
And I do have some background on this. Well, very brief, kind of.
Are the creators big fans of Nightport?
Well, probably, and that's why they got John Larroquette in the first place. But Regan, remember how I told you that Linda was actually named after one of Dan's sisters?
Yeah.
Well, Tiana's his other sister.
Wait, really?
Yep, he has another sister named Tiana, and named her after she was named and inspired by, and that's her namesake.
Okay.
Yep. So he didn't want her to be left out, so they named her Tiana. I recommend following Dan on YouTube and things like that. He's posted a lot of stuff now, and he's actually really good.
I would hope so.
I mean, like a lot of stuff he posts is just pretty funny. I recommend it.
Right,
Mostly he posts a lot about shorts and stuff like he does. I also post on TikTok, so I recommend following him.
All right, so we have the corny but effective proposal.
Yep.
Candace reminds Aunt Tiana. Who voices Tiana?
Like, I don't really.
Is it anyone notable? Like, do you know? Is it...
Okay. I don't actually remember. I have it written. I have it down on the wiki here. Let's see. Hold on. I'm sorry. Tiana is voiced by someone named Megan Hilty.
Sounds familiar.
It's listed. Apparently, she played Glinda in a version of Wicked. Like after was it? I know she didn't originate Glinda, but she played her. She was Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, Noises Off. She was Rosetta in Disney Fairies, apparently. She was. I don't really know. It's not really listing a lot of stuff that she was in.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anywho, what do you think about Tiana?
I mean, I kind of wish we saw her more and Bob after this, to be honest.
Don't tell me. This is the last we get of Bob.
I believe so, yes.
No, not Bob!
I'll get it ready.
Dan, Swampy, how dare you get us the wonderful John Larroquette back again as Bob, the same character even. And you just marry him off and he never comes back again? You give Linda a mystery sister, she probably never comes back again too?
That is correct.
Like, come on, guys. Okay, listen.
Okay.
On your to-do list for the revival, put a note on there. We want Bob and Tiana back. Bring them back. Okay?
Okay.
All right, that's it. Anyway, so Candace was promised to be Tiana's bridesmaid, and what about my needs? I guess I love it. Leonard's like, Candace, like, you maniac. What are you? It's a wedding.
Yeah, it's Candace goes a bit crazy with it. She's apparently been planning this thing for the past 6 years.
I think. Well, since she was. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, since she was 10. So yeah.
And she's 16
now.
No,
I know. Yeah, you got it. Yep. So you're 16 right now.
So basically, for the past 6 years.
Yep.
So it's like, and then I think it's kind of funny when someone's like, "You can't plan a wedding in a day." Well, we definitely know somebody who could plan a wedding in a day.
Yep.
The boys definitely could if they were given the prerogative to.
Oh, of course. But I like the challenge there. Like, Candace doesn't want to do it the easy way. She wants to do it.
Yeah, it's nice of her to show initiative and all that, but even if she does, but it's kind of funny that she technically takes this thing more seriously than the bride herself.
Oh, yeah. Guys, they're doing like this backyard wedding in a day, which is kind of Herculean to do it all in one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the boys,
Weddings take a lot of time planning.
yeah.
It's like, obviously, I've never been married myself.
There's
but
only one type of wedding that does not need a whole lot of planning.
one where you just go to the court and get married.
Exactly.
But yeah, these kinds of weddings can take months to plan. Like obviously I've never been married myself, but my sister's been married. My mom's been remarried. I've been to a couple weddings, and these things have taken months to plan. And technically, and heck, one time I went to West Virginia for my stepsister's wedding, and that took a long time to plan too. So I'm throwing in my own personal background with the wedding experience.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, Dragon.
Anyway, so the boys actually initially aren't very helpful here. They keep going too big, and Candace has to like lay out all the no's. Like she's the parade of no's. Like no this, no that, no, like I don't want the moon here. I don't want to go to the moon. I don't want any of that.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where Candace is coming from in some way on this.
Ice. It's summer. Do something with ice.
Ferb, what do we have in the ice file?
This episode, both of these episodes have kind of a theme of like just telling the boys, like, guys, just stay in your lane a bit here, okay? It's like we're calling out the shortcomings of the boys. You're like, guys, just dial it back a little. And in the first case, it's like, guys, you mean to tell me you can do all this, but you can't pump a tire in under 12 minutes? It just seems like we're calling out like the handicaps of the boys. These two episodes, so they're just like
It's like they get too wrapped up in trying to make things as big and extravagant as possible that they basically don't see the forest for the trees.
Or for the carnivorous plants in this case.
Well, that too, yeah.
By the way, Tiki's terrified of carnivorous plants.
He is?
Yes, petrified.
It's like, where did you hear this?
Well, Batcave, when we talked about the Poison Ivy episodes, they told me he's definitely afraid of giant carnivorous plants.
That's an oddly specific thing to be scared of, but I can kind of see where he's coming from on that.
Yeah.
Like, which episode was that again for Poison Ivy?
Pretty Poison's like the most memorable, like that's the first time, so.
Was that the one with the carnivorous plants?
Well, yeah.
All right. Because I remember there were a couple episodes where she appeared.
That's what I'm saying. Like she does that. She does that a bunch. But most iconically, I mean, I love the Pretty Poison episode, the introduction of Poison Ivy. So,
and I think if I remember correctly, that's also where we first see Harvey Dent too.
Not first, but memorably see Harvey Dent. Like Harvey Dent appears in Law and Leather Wings, so he's there in the very first episode.
Yeah, but he gets more exposure in Pretty Poison.
Well, that's the thing. Like he actually becomes we flush him out for the first time in Pretty Poison. That's the thing. So, but yeah, it's like the whole thing. We have like that great introduction where he's talking about his buddy Bruce Wayne, and we keep intercutting with Batman doing stuff. But yeah, so Batman sneaks in, and he basically he's her security thing is like this giant carnivorous plant, like a mouth on its side, like just it is nightmare fuel, unequivocally.
I mean, I don't doubt that. I mean, I've seen it because I've seen the episode.
Yeah,
I've basically seen the entire first season.
Yep.
Before it became the new Batman adventures, and I've even seen a few select episodes of that too.
Right.
So, I love whenever the subject changes to Batman. It's kind of amazing how we can extrapolate something from this show and relate it to Batman.
Well, it's carnivorous plants
and
weddings.
You could also easily make the connection to Little Shop of Horrors here, too. That movie must be terrifying to Tiki.
I would imagine so.
Actually, he did. Funny thing, he didn't bring this up to me, but I actually, like, when I went to California a couple of years ago with him and Monkey, we actually saw like not an amateur, but a production of Little Shop of Horrors in the theater. And he didn't bring up. I don't remember him bringing up it being terrified of giant plants at all.
I mean, he's told me he's got a fear of the giant carnivorous plants, and it comes up every time we talk about the carnivorous plants. So,
so like I said, the movie probably more terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick Moranis is there, but he doesn't really that doesn't really tone down the nightmare fuel.
Yep.
Great movie though.
True. So, okay, let's see. So, what's we have this great gag here too, where Candace is like, it tells them to stay in line, and they're a little intimidated here. Man, I should have Candace plan my wedding, and make a note of that.
Isabel's like, already on it.
I love that. It's a cute joke. I like that. I love it. She's not even in frame.
Yep. It's like she's already planning.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of presumptuous, but
yeah. Well, she's a fireside girl, Jake. If she wants to be prepared.
Yeah. Fireside girls are always prepared.
Okay, so Doofenshmirtz. Okay, admittedly, I really don't like Doofenshmirtz's plan this episode.
Basically, just make everything unhealthy.
I don't like the junk-food-inator plan. I don't like this inator. I don't like how sidetracked he gets. I really don't like the unhealthy Doofenshmirtz humor. I don't like any of that.
Like, what specifically about like the inator and stuff do you not care for?
I mean,
or the plan.
That's just everything about it just doesn't work for me, Jacob. It's just like the whole these vats. He's like demonstrating the thing, and like literally the demonstration is what throws him off like completely. And it's like just this one small piece of broccoli. It's just a lot of it doesn't work for me. And I don't like the look of sickly Doofenshmirtz and how we kind of write him out with basically as he has to keep going to the bathroom. It's like I don't know. It just didn't work for me.
It's although you have to admit the elevator gag was hilarious.
Though. That was leading up to all that though, so that was great. But yeah, the elevator gag was really funny.
It's like he tricked Perry, and then Perry tricked him by doing the classic of like hitting all the buttons at once.
Yep.
And just Doofenshmirtz's face just going like, just his scowling face as the door keeps opening as he's going up the floors. Frankly, that could have been a good thumbnail too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, they wanted to go something more catching.
Yep.
But anyway. But so I was like, Dragon, you really don't like this kind of stuff when it goes to like bodily humor, right?
I mean, I gotta be. It's not just that. I mean, like I'm just saying, the bad thing is just like it's kind of like the cherry on top of like I just really wasn't feeling this plot at all. There's barely a plot there, and just I don't like how Doofenshmirtz got defeated though. I mean, aside from the bathroom, I'm just saying leading up to that, I just don't like the thing like he sweated out like the rest of the fats and stuff to recharge the inator. Like I don't buy that.
I thought it was just more like it dripped off of his mouth or something like that.
Yeah, even so, like it's like a drip, like slight drippage is gonna refuel the machine. I don't know, it really didn't do it for me.
Was it because it was like gross to you or something? Or?
I mean in part, but it structurally didn't work. I mean, aesthetically, I don't like.
I like it. Where's like the motivation, or like he just had no reason to be doing it or something.
There's a little bit of that in there too. It was. I don't think it was strong writing, and it wasn't an appealing gimmick. Is a lot of it just did not. I don't know. I did not care for it personally. That's just how I felt about it. But I'm not saying anything ostensibly wrong with it. I think compared to his other plots and everything, this one just didn't have it didn't feel like a Doofenshmirtz plot really. I mean, even by his self-foiling measures, it didn't really seem like he was foiled in a really entertaining way. I mean, I like him getting distracted for a moment by eating the stuff, but still, I don't think he's going to down the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it does seem like it has something Dr. Draken would do, though.
I mean, kind of. I mean, I could kind of buy Dr. Draken doing it, but...
I mean, did he ever do anything like that?
Well, not really. No, there's an episode that kind of takes this plot. Well, plot in quotes. I mean, there's an episode called Grande Size Me, in which Ron Stoppel turns into kind of a kaiju of junk food, so to speak.
I remember that episode. Yeah.
So that's kind of the closest we get to something like that. Draken is in that episode, but he is not the orchestrator of any plots. There's like he fell into a vat or something.
And that was basically like a parody more than anything else of those of those like healthy eating morals.
Yeah.
It's like the lesson here is do not fall into a vat of chemicals.
Yeah.
It's like I will admit, Doofenshmirtz's plan, I will say, isn't memorable. It has some funny moments in it, but again, it's just like, and again, it doesn't really intersect with the main plot itself that much either. Just like it's just the liquids somehow melt the ice sculpture down, the giant ice sculpture they make down to the statue, and then the rest of it gets flung to Doofenshmirtz somehow.
Yeah.
So, which is kind of a shame because this plot could have been interesting, but unfortunately, there just wasn't much juice there.
There was some apple cider, though.
Oh, yeah.
Sparkling apple cider.
I suddenly feel like I'm finally in the mood for apple cider.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever had sparkling apple cider?
No.
Sparkling apple cider is actually pretty good. Have you had like just regular warm apple cider?
I think that's just their way of saying that. Honestly, I think the whole warm apple cider thing was their way of not doing champagne at kids' show.
I mean, obviously, because
it's a good idea. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a good substitution, but I'm just saying it's what it feels like.
I mean, sparkling apple cider is a real thing, but have you ever just had like regular apple cider?
No.
Oh man, that's just really good.
Okay.
So like, I love apple cider. Well, funny thing is, I actually haven't had it in years though.
Well, if you're gonna have it, you know how you have to have it through an ice sculpture.
Sprayed out of the bag of a scorpion, ice scorpion.
Yeah, take it all of Matt Gargan.
Who does not appear in the Marvel special either.
Well, I can buy that.
Yep.
I mean, he's a degenerate scorpion man. I buy that. He's not going to be.
And ironically, Matt Gargan did also once become Venom, right?
He did. Gargan never gets enough love. I'm going to say that though. Scorpions have always been a cool character, and we never really do enough with them. Yeah,
and his fate in Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man game, is actually kind of.
I did get that far in it, so yeah. I presume he is. It seems to be pretty much the last scene in the game for him.
Yeah, basically all the villains. Spoiler alert for that.
Well, don't tell me all, but I just got as far as the Scorpion. But right now I'm with Black Cat. That's as far as I've got right now.
Okay, I won't say much more then.
But yeah.
But anyway,
I'll just say someone's going after the villains in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, Matt Gargan does become Venom in the comics at some point, right?
Yes, briefly. He did. Yes, he was the third. He was the other Venom other than Eddie Brock. I forget if there was a middle one or not. Or when people do that list, I forget when the black suit. When everyone does the list of who had the black suit, Peter Parker, then Eddie Brock, then Matt Gargan. I forget if there's someone in the middle between Brock and Gargan.
I mean, I don't know, but I know Flash Thompson wore it at some.
Well, that was after Gargan, though. But yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Venom actually does appear in the Marvel special here.
But get out of here, really?
Yeah, they do have Venom.
They have Venom.
Yes.
Oh my god. They have Venom.
Yep, they have Venom.
And yet,
it's like,
look at this straight of all the villains. Are there other villains aside from the one?
The four there are four villains in there. Okay. Red Skull, as I've mentioned off screen before.
Uh-huh.
I just mentioned Venom.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
Oh god. All right. Yeah.
And MODOK.
At least MODOK's on brand for the Hulk, I guess. So.
So yeah, those are the four villains that appear in that episode.
They put MODOK in there before they put the other name brand hero that actually goes with one of those other villains.
Yep, I think everyone knows who we're talking about.
Not even MODOK. I mean, Whiplash of all people, really. I mean, come on.
I mean, I'm sure many people who've watched this channel know exactly who we're talking about here.
Yeah. Anywho,
but I will give a consolation. He is the unnamed person you're talking about is at least mentioned in the episode itself.
Oh, I'm gonna have some strong words for Dan and Swampy when we get there.
It's like he's at the very least mentioned in the episode.
That ain't helping, boy.
I'm just trying to soften the blow a little bit.
Ah,
I'm just saying they didn't forget him.
I think they forgot to send him the invite.
The other heroes are Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor.
Anyway. Okay, enough listing things. Let's get back to... Okay, so...
Alright, so they sing this, they tee up the song after Tiana comes back.
Yep.
She loves like mainly a lot of the stuff that Candace did. Like she was on the phone all day talking to various people. She somehow got a cake with a live chicken in it.
Yeah.
Yep. So she loves everything, and of course the boys tee up another song about the adventures of the married life.
Yeah, and Ferb does have a really nice line too about the whole this is the beginning of the greatest adventure.
Yes, it is nice.
Yeah.
See, Ferb has some wise words.
He does. Also, I can't believe Ashley Tisdale. Her crazed Candace acting is really good in this episode too. Where it's like, "There's a chicken in my hair."
I think my hair also has a chicken in it.
God.
Yeah, she's basically got the Candace stuff down to a T.
That she does.
Yep. Oh, then again, think about it. She was also Sharpay.
Well, yeah, and also she's in Sweet Life.
I know, but she wasn't crazy there.
Good point. Oh yeah, Sharpay was actually she was a sick puppy.
Yep, she could be.
Yeah.
I mean that's specifically why I didn't mention Sweet Life, because she was like one of the more sane characters on that show.
Yep. Yeah.
She was like she was definitely saner than Mr. Mosby most of the time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned before, also Phil Lewis also does guest star in a future episode of this show too.
Nice.
Yeah, it's always nice to see Phil Lewis doing stuff.
Okay, anyway, so they have the wedding, it all goes nicely, but they're missing something.
It's like, Candace, where's the justice of the peace? It's like, dang it, hold on a second.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately, Candace could not get ordained in a day, apparently.
Nope. Like, fortunately, though, she seems to have one on speed dial or something, so I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
And we never see Tiana or Bob ever again. Yep. Don't get me wrong, I'd like to see more of them too, but unfortunately, that never came to pass. Okay. Is that something John Larroquette did, or was that just something they?
I think it's just something for the show. I mean, I don't know if he did that. I don't think he. No, I don't think he did that on Night Court. I don't think that's a Night Court pull. I don't know what other show he might have done that on if he did it on, but I don't know.
I mean, unfortunately, I've never seen Night Court, so. But I am familiar with him, and obviously you and other people have recognized John Larroquette. So,
see, the big thing I know Larroquette from was, I know there's Night Court, but I never really watched. Unfortunately, I never really watched Night Court, and now it's back with the sequel show, which is probably pale in comparison to the original. But he was in, I believe, I forget if it was just the fourth season, the third and fourth season of Boston Legal. I love Boston Legal. He popped up in that, and of course, him popping up in Boston Legal is kind of like based off the Night Court fame, because he was a lawyer in Night Court, so he's a lawyer at the law firm Crane, Pohl, and Schmidt, which is where James Spader and William Shatner work.
Yeah, William Shatner. I haven't seen that either, but I know you recommend Boston Legal.
That's the thing. I love James Spader in Boston Legal, but Shatner is great. He has this runner where he just says his name. He constantly says his name as almost like a button to a scene. It's like his catchphrase is his name, but him saying his own name, like Denny Crane. He'll just say Denny Crane. It'll be like a button. Or like a mic. Basically, that's his version of the mic drop in that show. Like Denny Crane, he literally does like closing statements sometimes. He'll end with Denny Crane.
I probably like that show.
It always works. It always works for him.
It's like Shatner was at my convention, but he was hard to get to.
Yeah, well, if you ever do get to him, just the first thing you should say when you walk up to him is Denny Crane and see what he says.
Denny Crane.
Exactly. I think best case he'll say Denny Crane right back to you. That's probably what's gonna happen.
The thing is, though, I'm not in any big rush to see William Shatner.
I mean, he's getting up there.
I know.
He looks like a young man, but he's in his 90s, man.
He looks like he looks young.
Yes.
All right.
I mean, compared to 90.
Fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. He looked like he kind of stopped at like late 60s, you know?
Fair enough. Anyway, so any closing thoughts, Dragon?
I dig the phasing device, not so much the Doofenshmirtz plot in in Kansas Big Day.
Yep. Doofenshmirtz. What about the think about it though? Doofenshmirtz's plot in Just Passing Through is kind of thin too, but at least there's more stuff to it.
Well, yeah, I mean, he gets locked out of his own old flatbed microbus.
Yep. It's relatable.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Well, not me.
Well, you've been locked out of something, haven't you?
Yes.
There you go.
I was once locked out of my job.
Yep.
Because my boss was running late. In the middle of winter. And when it was negative 12 degrees outside.
I'm sorry, you waiting for the world's smallest violin to kick in?
No, I'm just waiting for you to say something in response.
Okay.
All right. Maybe you had a similar experience. That's what I was trying to find out.
No, I mean, I've waited a lot, but I don't know about being locked out waiting. I don't know, I've waited for the boss to show up, but usually in a warm car, so I can't really say it's been out in the cold like that.
Well, I didn't drive then, and I currently still don't. We have some last minute comments. Whiplash is a pretty random choice. And Dragon can be savage sometimes. All right.
I wonder if there's a savage dragon. Dig.
I don't. Probably not intentional, and I don't even know what you're referencing at this point.
Yeah, there's an Image Comics character named Savage Dragon.
All right.
Anyway,
that could be your news. That could be like a stage name for you or something.
I don't know about that. It was kind of like anyway. It's not important.
All right, so that does it for this week. Thank you, Code Geass and Little Blue, for joining in, and join us next week on the Recap-inator, where Candace begins to suspect that Ferb is an alien. Good night, everybody. Okay.